I've just done another video and there's no fucking sound on that as well. It's fucking fucked me off. And I was saying about, I've just watched a piece on Nick Cave, who I'm not a massive fan of, if I'm 100% honest. I know he's very popular and he's very trendy and it's cool to be, into Nick Cave, but he's not really my cup of tea. But it was good because he was talking about the fact that in the last few years, I didn't realise he had 4 children, and he'd lost tragically a couple of his children, and it made him reassess obviously his life and what he was. And he said, all the way through his life, he believed he was doing this great work, this and everything, it was really important what he was doing, and he said, I came to realize that's a load of bullshit, and for someone as creative as him to finally realize that, I thought was quite moving. And he said, my priority, I understand now that my music are not the most important thing in the world. And he said, up until that point, I thought they were, and everything else was just annoying, and and I thought it was really good, because I think we forget that we're just another animal on this planet. I watched another thing on, and I can't remember, he's a famous astrologist, I can't remember. Anyway, he took a picture of the Earth from, I think, the other side of Neptune, and it's just this little blue dot in this vast emptiness of space. And what he was doing, he was showing his students, that this tiny little blue dot, this irrelevant little blue dot, has been fought over for thousands of years. Men have killed other men. Everybody who's ever lived has lived on that little dot. Everybody who's ever thought anything has thought it on that little dot. It's men have, killed thousands of other men for a small corner of that little blue dot, and it's quite good, because you think, and it's just irrelevant. It's just this little place that's, by so many freakish coincidences, that happens to support life, and we're just another member of that, and because over the last 300-400 years we've developed this, we're so important, and we're this and we're that, and we're all the rest of it, but we've forgotten that we're just another species on this planet, and we will be long gone before this planet, goes, and there'll be many other species that replace us, and there's been many before us, and and our time is so tiny, but we think we're so important, and we're not. And I think that we kid ourselves that the things that we do are important, and the things that, I'm a successful this, and I've got a big house, and I've got a car, and I've got this, and I've got that, and I've got, it's just stuff. That's not a measure of your success whatsoever. And when you start looking at the animal kingdom and the other ones of us, we're just another one of the animal kingdom. We're just part of the lions, the tigers, the dolphins, the this, the that, you name it, ants, fucking millipedes, everything. We're just one of them. We're nothing special. We're not anything special. We're just another fucking species on the little blue dot. And the only really thing that matters is your relationships, the people who you surround yourself with now, and what people think about you, what if you're lucky enough to have children or whatever, what they think about you. I watched an interview a good few months ago with Dana White, and he was talking about how successful, someone was asking him about how successful UFC had been and all the rest of it, and, and wasn't he proud of everything he'd done and all the rest of it, and they asked him what his legacy would be, and he kind of laughed, and he said, the only thing that matters, man, is what my kids think of me. He said, and that's my legacy. He said, if my children miss me if I die, or, you know, talk about me fondly, he said, then that's the only thing that matters. And I thought, you know, he got that spot on. I mean, just spot on. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. It doesn't matter how much money you haven't got. It doesn't matter how much money you how much your house is worth, whether you live in this fucking palace, you know. And there's so many people. I met so many people, especially being in cars and the motor trade and stuff like that. You meet so many people who are driven by wanting to get money and possessions and things. Oh, I've got things. I've got things. I'm a thing person. They're mainly miserable cunts whose family don't like them, whose kids don't like them, whose fucking friends don't like them. They haven't got any friends, most of them. Most of them are fucking arrogant twats. And I once got called arrogant by a dead man, which is funny because I was talking to somebody and it quite upset me. And I was chatting to an old friend, and they asked me if I remembered this guy who he was a fellow motor trade person, and I moved to Liverpool to work for Volvo, and he was one of the guys who I ended up eventually dealing with through this move, and I liked him. I thought he was all right. You know, I'm and I was speaking to someone 30 years after the event, you know, when we were there, and he said, and they just happened to say, "Oh, do you know, so and so's dead?" I went, "Oh no, you're joking me." They went, "No, he's died." I went, "Oh, that's a shame. He was all right." And they went, "Wait, he didn't like you?" And I went, "You what?" And they went, "We didn't like you. Thought you were a right arrogant little prick." That's what he said. That's what he told me. And I don't know why, but I thought, fucking hell. So get that guy has gone through the last, I mean, where is it, 1990? So 2000, 2010. Yeah, 30 years. Thinking I'm a cunt. Because I probably was. But I thought, what a shame. You know, what a shame that that's that. And apparently he spoke to this person not long before he died. And they were talking about the old times. And, oh, do you remember when we were here and there and all the rest of it? And they said, oh, yeah, do you remember Gordon, when he was general manager? I said, yeah, fucking arrogant prick. So that stuck with that guy for all those years. So no matter what I'd done or did do or haven't done, I'm just an arrogant prick. And I think it was a really good lesson for me to just adjust how I think and how I interact with other people. And things like that, and the Dana White comments and all the rest of it. What we leave in this life is the person we are. That's what people remember. And 99.999999999 to the power of 10 will never be remembered more than 100 years from when we're dead. We'll just never be. After that, it's gone. It's gone. You know, so it's the people that we leave behind us right now are what's important, and what they think of us and what they think of you and how you've dealt with those people. And I would say at the expense of anything else, you know, your interactions with other people, you've got to try and make as positive as you can. especially your family, especially if you've got children. But certainly with anyone else, you know. My friend who has a shop, same as me, in town, has recently been he won't admit it, but he's quite upset because someone's gone in his shop and called him a fascist, purely because he's got a Union a St George's flag outside. He's got a Union Jack and a St George's flag, and he flies them outside his shop. He's a lovely guy. He's not a fascist. He's not a racist. He's not. But, you know, so someone's gone in and judged him and been horrible to him, but right to his face, on the fact of not knowing him and not you know. And I just thought, it's so sad now that we don't even give people a chance to get to know them. No, this person's not going in and gone, listen, you know, I see you've got a cross St. George outside. You know, are you flying that for a reason? Are you flying that because you're a proud Englishman, or are you flying that for another reason? Well, you know, what's your logic behind that? They've just boom, fascist pig, and it's quite shocking because I'm of the school where I know people say that flag now has been hijacked, but I don't think that. And I think the best way to unhijack it, if it has been hijacked, is for more people to use it and go, well, you know, we're proud of that flag, and you people shouldn't be fucking using it in this way. You know, and I'm going to fucking fly it anyway because I'm you know, whatever, you know. I mean, but to judge somebody just on the fact, that's like judging someone for wearing flares, not straight leg trousers. You know, oh, you're wearing flares? Out of fashion. Oh my God. What kind of person are you? Fuck off. Anyway, I think what I was trying to say before I started all this was that the relation. Oh, this is weird, isn't it? With the black thing, I like it. That black thing, as in, you know, going dark and light. You know, dark, light. Yeah, I think, you know, your relationships are more important than what your bank balance is when you're fucking dead. Because when you're dead, your bank balance is zero, same as it were when you were born. Yeah. Look after your friends, look after your family, and everything else. There'll be good times and bad times. That's just how the fucking world is. So what?